Hi, my name's Barbara. Today I want to share with you some ideas around the principle of above or below the line. Now, if you've ever been coached or mentored before, you may have come across these ideas, so this is an opportunity for you to revisit those. Or if you're a manager or a leader or an aspiring leader, this is a really good principle for you to follow for yourself, and certainly one worth sharing with your team. The ideas around above or below the line stem from the idea of observing our behavior and the choices that we make about our behavior, how we respond. So typically what happens is something happens in our environment that triggers a response in us, and it's normally an automated response. We respond with habit. And this comes from our experiences. It may stem from childhood, but we will react in a way that's familiar and normal to us. For example, if a car backfires, it's the same sound for everybody, but lots of people will have a different response to that based on their experiences, and it will be a habit in terms of how they respond. So they will then we all have a reaction to that particular trigger. The difference in terms of managing our behavior and our response is that when we have a trigger and our brain wants to automatically respond to it, we can stop and observe what is happening, to reflect on what's happening, and from there make a conscious response to what's happening within our environment or what we say or what we do. So when we look at the principle of above or below the line, it comes from the idea of, or that saying of, drawing a line in the sand. Where do you choose to be? Which side of the line do you choose to be on? This is about choice. What choices do we make around where we put all of our energies? About us being aware of what we're actually doing, what we're saying, our behavior, and what response we're going to choose. So if we operate in a space that's below the line, that's typically the space of a victim. So you'll find yourself using language of blame, denial, finding excuses for things, looking for the reasons the way things are. If you might have an attitude that revolves around this as well as the language. And this then becomes consuming and depleting of our energy. This is the impact that it has on our energy. So choosing to be below the line means that we operate in this kind of space. If we choose to be above the line, it's the space of a victor. So we'll have an attitude or use language that revolves around accountability, about taking ownership for things that happen, being responsible, taking the responsibility for things, about being focused on results. And this is really important as well, because below the line is about blame, is about complaint, whereas above the line is looking at what actions we can take to make a difference, to have different results. And this consequently creates a space or an energy that's far more productive. It's there's a stronger energy producing environment for yourself and for the people around you. So you have the choice to be above the line or below the line. And the choice that we make around our behavior certainly impacts not only ourselves, but the relationships that we have with the people around us. And it creates a cycle. So if I look at it from my point of view, my behavior will impact on you. It'll affect you. It'll affect how you feel about yourself and how you feel about me. And this will affect how you respond to me. How you respond to me will have an impact on me. It will affect how I feel about you, and it'll affect how I feel about myself, which will impact my behavior. It'll affect my behavior. And so you can see the cycle. So this is quite a sophisticated way of looking at the cycle of behavior. But to break it down more simply, my behavior and my perceptions impact on your behavior and your perceptions, which impact on my behavior and my perceptions, and you get the idea. So really just shifting your behavior, thinking about whether or not you choose to be above or below the line, can impact on what happens in the space around you. Think about where you're going to place yourself. Sometimes you just need to stop and ask yourself, am I using language, or do I have an attitude of blame, denial, excuse? Am I making reasons of things? And you can choose to put yourself above the line, to focus on being more accountable, taking ownership, being responsible, and looking at what actions you can take to get different results. So I hope you've got value from this video today. There are more resources, free resources like this on my website, timetamer.com.au. If you want to talk to me about professional development training in your area, online courses, or one-on-one coaching, please just drop me an email or give me a buzz.